I had advocated for a free economic zone on both sides of Kashmir. I am against this thinking of the Pakistani thinkers or whatever it is that Congress is something different. No. 35A, wherein we were having the right of property, that was the only thing left. All other rules, regulations, laws were changed by the Congress itself. We were fighting only for 35A. In a sense, now the second stage in Kashmir will be first is the settlement, the Indians coming and settling, taking properties, this thing, that thing. Today, 700,000 people are coming every month for that yatra. Why? Because that yatra is free. Free travel, free food, free everything.
Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. I am Dr. Munawar Hussain and you are watching Diplomatic and Current Affairs with Dr. Munawar Hussain. This is very important channel because this gives you information about different international and regional issues and it has validity and reliability because it gives you the description, explanation and prediction about different problems, whether they belong to the region or they belong to international politics. So if you have not subscribed this channel, please subscribe it, like it and share it. Today we have talked with Dr. Mubin Shah, who is a seasoned businessman and seasoned politician who belongs to Jammu and Kashmir, which is the Indian side of Kashmir, and currently he is living in Turkey. So we have taken a detailed interview about the status of Kashmir and how it is linked with the Palestinian issue and what is the future prospect regarding the resolution of the main issue between India and Pakistan. Dr. Mubin Shah, thank you very much for your time for our show. Can you tell us about the current status of the Kashmir issue and how it is affected by the developments in the Middle East in the context of Gaza-Israel war?
You see, the present situation in Gaza shows resonance in Kashmir also. That whatever is happening in Gaza or has happened before has already happened in Kashmir also. The only difference is that Israel has used, completely bombed whole of Gaza, while as in Kashmir, India has not done the same thing. But it has killed as many as 100,000 people in Kashmir from 1990. And we have, I was just talking today to some Palestinian organizations and was telling them we have 20,000 widows and we have more than 1,500 half widows, while as we have got about more than 120,000 orphans. And because they are all become, and you see, when I see the figures and when I calculate it, and that's why I say in my writings that almost 4.5 million people are directly affected by the present situation in Kashmir. That means the genocide has happened already. It is going on in Kashmir. And because of these number of people who have been killed, who have been imprisoned, who have been injured by pellets and all these things, when you total up, it comes to more than 450,000 people. And when you multiply, in our South Asian families, you have extended family of, let us say, 10. It comes to 4.5 million to 5 million people are affected directly. And, we have a total population in the Kashmir Valley, 8 million, as such. So you can understand with that, then there's, PTSD also, the people are getting affected and all this adds up. And when we see Gaza and we see this happening, the only difference is now that we also have freedom fighters in Kashmir. They have not yet, they are slowly doing the same thing what Hamas has done in Gaza. They are now, the time may come that the same our freedom fighters will also have the same model of attack against India. And it is very important to point out to your viewers or anybody for that matter that Kashmiris have never attacked mainland India. Never. They have never attacked any population in mainland India. So, God forbid, if that is done by the same free, when they become to the wall. They are pushed to the wall. They may do it. I'm not saying they will. They may do it. Then what happens? The whole area will become. Then India will react, and they will react in the same way as Israel has. And then what will it lead to? It will lead to war. Pakistan will be forced into war. The difference between us and Palestine is the countries surrounding Palestine are not of the same caliber as Pakistan is. You have to understand, Pakistan is a nuclear state. And I recall your previous prime minister, when he spoke in the UN, he told he told the UN General Assembly in explicit terms that if this happens in Kashmir, we may have to go to war. And when a nuclear state has a war, then the repercussions are completely different. So this is a very major difference. And this is what is, I am feeling that this may happen. It may happen 3 months down the line, 6 months down the line, 1 year down the line. It may. This is my present reading about the situation.
Dr. Saab, you are absolutely right. I totally agree with you that if war erupts between India and Pakistan, it would be erupted on the issue of Kashmir, and it would be all-out war. So this is very sensitive issue that has to be resolved between these two nations, two arch rivals, two nuclear powers. You are absolutely right. Since this subcontinent is less connected, South Asia is less connected, and we are facing the poverty, the most populous region in the world. How do you see the issue of Kashmir, which is without resolving the issue, the South Asia cannot see the prosperity, in fact. So how do you see the future of Kashmir issue if Prime Minister Modi comes into power again?
You see, I was the president of the Kashmir Chamber of Commerce, from 2006 to 2009, and I was also then president of the Jammu and Kashmir Joint Chamber of Commerce between 2012 and 2014. So, in both my positions, I had advocated for a free economic zone on both sides of Kashmir. You see, both sides, when the LOC trade was working, when both sides of Kashmir, and then get India also connected to Central Asia, as well as Pakistan naturally with the rest of India. And when this would become a free economic zone, we had at that time proposed that the sovereignty issue be kept for 5 years or 6 years or 7 years or 10 years frozen. But do this first and this will have given connectivity. But after August 5th, 2019, Mr. Modi completely shattered all those dreams of ours in a way also that there can be a peaceful way of settling Kashmir.
So it means Shahzab, you are saying that during Congress regime, this can be done.
It is not a question of regime, sir. It is not. I am against this thinking of the Pakistani thinkers or whatever it is that Congress is something different. No. They do it subtly, and Modi has done it very openly. This is very, very important to understand. All the 370 article was made, it was completely empty in 2019. Who had done it? Congress. It had made it empty except for that 35A, wherein we were having the right of property. That was the only thing left. All other rules, regulations, laws were changed by the Congress itself through the governors, through these things. What Mr. Modi did, they had also done it. But they had kept still a sort of a fig leaf, like 370 is still there, and 35A was the only thing that is what we were fighting also in the end. We were not fighting, actually, if you ask me, the freedom-loving people or the people in the social media, everything. We were fighting only for 335A in a sense. But naturally, we were talking about 370 and 35. That was because we did not want outsiders to settle in Kashmir. And actually, the government of India, after my release in 2019, I made a post on Facebook telling people not to give jobs to outsiders, not to give space, and they did a case against me. And I am, sort of, they have done a case, FIR and all that thing. So that is because we fear that, and we fear, and truly, because already they have so many certificate, domicile certificates have been given by India already on that subject. So this is their model, the same model that Israel did. Settlements. So now the second stage in Kashmir will be, first is the settlement, the Indians coming and settling, taking properties, this thing, that thing, in the economic spaces they are going to occupy in the near future. And they had a talk before this 2019. They used to put feelers, some press report, oh, they were going to put Sainik colonies, those old, retired army people who had at one point of time worked, served in Jammu and Kashmir. They will be given colonies free and all that, with, built up everything. And then they will have these islands of colonies in different places. That is going to be this stage. Now, maybe after Mr. Modi comes in new power, he will do the same, because it has already, feelers have been given to us before 2019, which we as a civil society group used to oppose also. We used to oppose openly. We came in, to oppose such things to happen. And besides the Pandit colonies, which have already starting to be developed. So, and another thing which I fear, being outside, is that the train is going to come to Kashmir now, connected. Srinagar for the first time will be connected to the whole of India in 2024. You can imagine a train where 100,000 people or 50,000 people can be moved overnight. They will come into Kashmir and set up houses, set up things, set up all these things, because laws have been already put in place for landless people to give land through of government. You see, government has maximum land holdings in Kashmir. There is very limited land available, and a lot of land is is of government. They will be giving. They have already said it is not defined that this landless person, whether he is from other parts of India or Kashmir. So laws have been already changed. One fine morning, they will feel there will be jugis, jomtis everywhere in these government lands, and people will be coming by trains, and they will encourage it. You see, the same thing. See, they have tried this model already. I'll tell you how they have tried it. Amarnath Yatra. 20 in my childhood, number of yatris were, even not in hundreds. They were counted in hundreds. Today, 700,000 people are coming every month for that yatra. Why? Because that yatra is free travel, free food, free everything. And all those people who cannot, it is just like they are saying that it is just like, when we go to Makkah Sharif and all, they are telling them this is also a part of like a Tirath Yatra type of like thing, and they are giving them free food, free. There are big corporations, Indian corporations, who are having langars all around that route. That langar philosophy is not in Hindus actually; it is in Sikhs only. But they have copied that in langar, and they have langars all around that route. And that is why today 700,000 people are coming to for that yatra. So this is the same thing they are going to do. Okay, you will get free land in Kashmir. Come on, go. Laws are there. Everything is there. There's a law in place. Landless people, they will get a certificate from somewhere in India that these people are landless, and they will get citizenship. This is what is going to happen if they are not stopped.
Shasa, we are living in a changing time. Circumstances are being changed even in South Asia because of Indo-Pacific strategy, and we see that now Indians, they assume that they have become very powerful, and therefore they are not ready to listen international law, international organization, even the OIC. So in that case, what is the strategy of Kashmiri leadership who is living outside in other countries, especially in the Western countries, how they are promoting the stance of Kashmir? because the internal leadership, they are behind the bars.
You see, it is a very uphill task, at this point of time with the changed circumstances. Initially, when I was, for example, released, we created this Kashmir Diaspora Coalition, and we've had thought that we will, advocacy to advocacy every important country. And we have branches in, let us say, United States of America, we have in Europe, we have in Britain, we have in other places, and in Turkey also, for example. And we were slowly trying to convince people that this is what India is doing and all that. But now, what Gaza has done has sort of given us a situation where, unfortunately, I'm saying unfortunately, the people of Kashmir who are bearing arms may have more say now in in taking the Kashmir issue forward, rather than people like us who would like to advocate that it should be done peacefully, it should be done in negotiations. The people, because we see the world's double standards. I was just talking to a Palestinian group today. I was telling them that the biggest problem in the world today is, for example, Islamophobia. And Islamophobia, first of all, our freedom fighter is called a terrorist, while the same freedom fighter who was fighting for Ukraine, who was being invited by the West to Ukraine, are told freedom fighters. So what will happen? You see, any thinking person or any person who has knowledge of world affairs and thinks about it, people like us will have to go then into the background, because people who are bearing arms will come in the forefront and say, you forget about it. You people have not been able to do anything. They are not going to listen to anything else. We are going now for complete war. And that is where, this is in the first question I answered, that scenario will be done. And that scenario, when it happens, Pakistan will have no other choice or to go to war. So this is my thinking and this is my feeling. We as people from in outside have very limited role unless the world listens to us and understands what is going to be the consequences.
The world leadership is trapped. Now a scandal is exposed by the Israeli media and especially the American media as well, that how world leaders are trapped by the Israeli Mossad's agents. And therefore, they are making policies in favor of the Israel. And we know that Israel and India, they have nexus now. Even Indian military is fighting in Gaza against the Palestinians. And yesterday I got the report, and it was a shocking report that 4 Indian soldiers are killed in Gaza. So do you see that in that case, when the world say that they have a shared interest with India, they have a shared values with India, though they have a certain disappointments. And now in Washington, the debate has started that India is not fulfilling the objectives or the desires or the wishes of the West in containing China. So do you think that in such circumstances, the future of Kashmir is secure and democratic principles would be followed, and the chance would be given the political leadership to resolve the issue through negotiation? Do you see? I mean, this is possible.
You see, India under Modi particularly has implemented and copied the whole Israeli model. It was already there. Israeli model was already there in the Congress also, but he did it very openly, number one. Number two, because you see, India has been very, very clever. It has taken advantage of the international situation and tried to tell America that we are on your side to contain China. So, and because of that, these countries like the US, London, this UK, and other countries who are their, partners, they are not doing anything which they should have done to stop India. And the biggest test is Kashmir in South Asia. So until and unless They settle Kashmir as per the resolutions of UN. There is no world order. This problem is that what is the international order? America says we go at it's a rule-based world order. What is rule-based order? Rule-based world order is this, that you do not implement UN resolution. You still aspire to become a UN Security Council permanent member. How can they? How which is this rule? So this is the thing that our people like our space is being constrained, and the people who are bearing arms will go on the forefront. I am of the complete opinion, and I cannot convince, if I have I have a reason to talk to such people. For example, I may not be able to convince them that your way is not the right way. This is the way. This is what is happening, and this is what is we
You
say.
are right. You are right. I agree with you. Sir, what options are available in the hands of Pakistan? Because now at this moment, Pakistan is doing the military diplomacy, and we saw that our army chief, he paid visit to America. Even he gave a dossier to there, and he raised the issue of Kashmir with the American counterparts. So even then, how Pakistan can make the issue of Kashmir public effectively in international forums?
To tell you very frankly, sir, Pakistan has a very limited role till there is not war. Okay, if war is imposed on Pakistan, then we will see whether they can walk the talk, the army and all that. What they are telling the Americans that this will happen, whether they will do or they will do hands up,
No,
I do
mentally,
not know.
Shahzab, I am
I do not
interrupting you.
know their
Mentally,
internal.
mentally, Pakistan is ready to have a war with India if India is going to wage a war against Pakistan, because we already have a semi-stealth J-10C fighter jets, and now we are intending to acquire a J-31, which is the stealth fifth generation aircraft from China. And always we have upper hand in as far as air dogfight is concerned.
You see, our concern is that on one side the army is saying that we are doing this, or we have talked to the Americans, we have given them dossier. On the other side, the people who we feel are being got by the establishment into power through elections or not elections, whatever it is, are saying that we will set right with relationship with India, we'll do trade, we'll do this, we'll do that without any conditions. Because they still are under that belief that once trade starts, we will be able to change the outlook of India. Never it will happen. Never happen. It will never happen. I was in Pakistan when I met you the first time. I told there in all the seminars, India will never do it. Even India will never compromise. You have to talk from the position of strength, number one. Number two, you have to imagine, Pakistan has to imagine that if for tomorrow India stops water, what will you do? If India attacks Lahore, what will you do? Same thing is today. If you people think that Kashmir is a part of Pakistan, then they should have already attacked India, because they are doing to your own portion the same thing, atrocities which are not unacceptable. So this is my point. So it is to walk the talk, whether they can walk the talk. It is good that they are giving statement. We are thankful for the chief to talk like that. But when it comes to the crunch, whether he will do it and walk the talk, because the previous chief, as per our information, told I don't have the necessary equipment ready, I don't have the diesel ready, I don't have this thing, I cannot go to war. And these are the facts on the ground at that point of time, and that was an opportunity. To tell you very frankly, that was an opportunity for Pakistan to come. It was an opportunity lost in '62, opportunity lost after that, and opportunity lost the other time because the army was not ready at that time to fight. Although the army in Pakistan, to tell you very frankly, we Kashmiris feel that all the facilities, everything to the Pakistan army is because of Kashmir. If there is no Kashmir problem, then you don't need an army. What do you need the army for? Internal strife or external strife? So this is my point. This has to be realized by the people within Pakistan also. I was very open when I was in Pakistan also, that Pakistanis, if they feel about Kashmir, then they have to feel it just like any other portion of Pakistan. Or it is a gone case. Then you tell us, forget about, we'll fight our own war ourselves.
Thank you very much, Shasa, for your time. Viewers, hope you have understand the issue, the current issue of Kashmir in a changing circumstances within South Asia and on the map or on the level of on the systemic level. And hope you will give us comment how can we make this program better. And if you have not subscribed the channel, please subscribe it, the like the video and share the video. Allah Hafiz.